What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another episode of Career Mode. This is episode number 138, and we start today's episode with some player training here before coming to our first of 3 games in today's episode, taking on Inter at the San Siro in our first Derby della Madonnina of the season, or the Milan Derby as I'll call it, because it's a lot easier for me to pronounce. Taking on Inter here, away at the San Siro, if you will. Inter, who of course last season finished in 2nd place, had a really good year, pushed us all the way for our title, to be honest, but this year, not the best to start, sitting in 8th place right now, but it is worth noting we drew our last game against Cagliari at the San Siro. So coming to this game here, being registered as the away side, desperate to return to winning ways, and the first chance of the first Milan Derby of the season will fall to us in the 3rd minute. Marco Ryan sprints down the right hand side here and cuts inside with a reverse step over, gives it to his teammate Donnarumma, but he's denied by a great save by Handanovic though, and the Slovenian makes a really smart stop, so still 0-0. Another good chance here 10 minutes later though, Romagnoli's header going just wide the post and behind for a goal kick, and a good chance here for Inter in the 23rd minute as Puskas gets on the ball and finds David Santon. He plays it inside towards his teammate, who takes it around Donnarumma, gets inside, gives it to Menard, who goes for goal, but he can't hit the target, and it goes wide of the post. So still 0-0 in this game, but 4 minutes before the end here with the score still goalless, Freddie Guarin swings it across to the centre, and at the far post, it is headed in by Menard, and Jeremy Djokovic, I have to say, he's been a great signing for us ever since we bought him back from Watford, but this is a moment you won't want to see again, because the header comes in, it does have some power, but he gets beat at his near post. He's way too slow getting down, and really, a goalkeeper of Djokovic's calibre should be making that save pretty comfortably. Instead, doesn't get to it, can't keep it out, and Inter take the lead just before the break. So pretty frustrated about that. I thought we'd had a good first half, matched Inter all the way really, but instead, they'd taken their chance and we hadn't taken ours. But in the second half here, a couple minutes after the restart, we tried to get ourselves back on their terms. Once again, it's Ryan Tyler causing the damage, cutting inside from the right and going for goal, but again, Handanovic makes a really good save here, and then eventually the flag was up for El Shaarawy on the far side, who was offside. So still 1-0 to the home side, as we still went in search of an equalising goal. 8 minutes after the restart, had another good chance here as Bonaventura found Bakic from this corner, but once again, Handanovic made the save and kept it at 1-0. And with 11 minutes to go here, we have one of our final chances. El Shaarawy gets himself inside the area here with a few nice skill moves, goes through to shoot. I thought he was clipped by Freddie Guarin, but the referee waved off protest. We didn't get a penalty, and with 2.5 minutes to go, as we force bodies forward, looking for an equalising goal, into it on a counter-attack, played it through to Freddie Guarin, and the Colombian, who's now left in real life to join a Chinese side, I do believe, makes it into 2, Milan 0, and secures the first Milan Derby win of the season for Inter. So Inter are going to get the win. It'll be the first time we lose to our rivals since I've taken over at Milan. I forced way too many bodies forward, desperate to try and find an equalising goal. Instead, Inter hits on the counter-attack here, tried to put Guarin off with Djokovic, it didn't work, and the Colombian makes it into 2, Milan 0. So final score in the first Derby della Madonnina of the season, Inter 2, Milan 0, and we lose for the first time this season in all competitions. So absolutely gutted about that, failed to score as well. That's now 2 games without a goal for us, and I was just so annoyed about this game because we had a really good game. Like, we played very well in that one, had quite a few chances. Again, the El Shaarawy penalty appeal, maybe he wasn't clipped by Guarin. I thought it was a little bit of contact, but the referee didn't see it as one. So no penalty given there, and Guarin did play very well. Man, the match for me a goal and an assist as well, but I thought we played very well in that game. Didn't get the rub of the green we needed, and sadly for us, we do lose for the first time this season. So a little bit worrying, 2 games without a goal, 2 games without a win in the league as well. A little bit of a shame in our first defeat of the season as well, but it's just one of those things really. It was one of those typical FIFA games where you feel as though you've done everything you can to get the goals, but you just can't get it. You just can't get the one goal that you feel you need, and then sadly, when you're forcing loads of bodies forward, it's like when Guarin scored that second goal, it was coming. Like, it was coming. They were going to score a second goal. There was going to be another goal in the game. It'd either be Inter scoring on the counter-attack, or we'd find the equalising goal. Sadly for us, it was the former, and Inter did indeed win the game by 2-0. So not too hung up about it, not too concerned, to be honest. A long way to go in the season still, but again, to lose for the first time this season, and for it to be against our rivals as well, it is of course a bit of a shame. We have to put it behind us though for our second game of today's episode, and take on Pescara here at the San Siro for the second of 3 games in today's episode. Still in the league, looking for our first win in a couple of games, and what a start as well. Bonaventura getting the goal just 21 minutes in, playing for his Milan future, and scoring his second goal in 4 games, I think it is now. So Bonaventura looking pretty good right now, and he makes it Milan 1, Pescara 0, and gets the first goal of the game. Pescara's only chance at the half fell there in the 30th minute. That header was way off target though, and went behind for a goal kick. And to be honest, this was a really boring game. Not a very fun one to play in. Very few chances, to be honest. Nothing really happening. happening. One of the rare chances fell here in the 54th minute as Bakic couldn't control his half volley and it went over the bar and behind for a goal kick. But as the game was coming to its close, it was still Milan 1, Pescara 0, and I was pretty frustrated about how this game panned out, but I was thinking to myself, at least we'll get the win and return to winning ways. But sadly for us, in stoppage time, Caprari was played the ball through inside the area and smashed the ball in at the near post. Once again, Djokovic beaten at his near post for the second time in 2 games, and Pescara grabbed themselves an equalising goal and grabbed themselves a priceless point as they will leave the San Siro with a draw. So that's now 3 games without a win in the league. Really frustrated about that. And I finished that game and I genuinely looked at the stats and I thought to myself, really? Like, seriously? I mean, I don't mind playing a ridiculously boring game as long as we get the 3 points, but we're at home to Pescara, who are in the relegation zone. They dominate possession, 60% of it, 89% pass accuracy, and we still couldn't see out the win, even though there were only 4 shots taken in the entirety of the game. And I was just so frustrated because those are the games right there which we have to win. Those are the games where there are no excuses whatsoever for not getting the 3 points, and to throw it away in stoppage time, I was just really annoyed about that. It's our second goal we conceded in stoppage time in the last 5 games as well, so very annoyed about it. The last one came against Carpi in the last episode, I do believe, but either way, really annoyed about it. And again, a sign as well that we're not actually as good as I first thought. At the start of the season, we spent over £100 million in the summer transfer window, and I was thinking to myself, this Milan side is ready to be taken to the next level, without doubt. We've got an awesome team, awesome squad. Every player in the first 11 is 80 plus. I think the lowest rated is 82 plus. So, you know, a really awesome team. There's strength in depth, strength in numbers, some great young talent here as well. But that's now 3 games without a win. We should have beat Cagliari in the last episode. We should have beat Pescara there. We shouldn't have lost to Inter, our first defeat of the season, in the first game of today's episode. Right now, we are struggling and we're out of form and we're playing, you know, really inconsistent football right now. You know, we went from having 5 wins in our first 5 games in the league to what it is right now. Our last 5 games have been 1 win in the league. It's just been really poor. You know, just 1 win in our last 5 league games. It's unacceptable. It's completely unacceptable. We should be doing way better than this, and it's really frustrating for me because I know we're better than this as well, but right now I'm just not feeling comfortable with the team, and some players just aren't performing to their usual levels. Djokovic again in that game, you know, to be beaten at his near post, it was the only shot on target in the entirety of the game. He should be doing better than that, especially for the Inter goal as well. You saw in the first game, really poor. So for our third and final game of today's episode here, we will take on Celtic in the Champions League group stage for our 4th game in the group. And as you can see right now, we're in 2nd place, Porto are top, and Chelsea are in 3rd place. Celtic, of course, right now occupying that final 4th place. So coming into this game, I made 10 changes to the squad. Only Djokovic would start this game from our usual first 11, if you will. I thought it's only fair I give the bench and to Resi some play time, see what they can do, and see if they could show me they deserve a start on a more regular basis. Taking on Celtic here for our 3rd game, and what a start to the game as well. Just 5 minutes in for Jeremy Djokovic. Back-to-back poor performances, no clean sheet in the last couple of games, but what a stop there by the Canadian with one of the saves of the season, and he keeps it at Milan 0, Celtic 0. And in the 23rd minute here, we will take the lead in this game, score only our 2nd goal in the last 3 games, and it's Verdi who gets it as well. A really great ball inside here. I think it was Polly who played it inside, and Verdi with a fantastic finish, puts it past the goalkeeper and makes it Milan 1, Celtic 0. So after 2 really poor performances coming into this game, you better believe I was holding that controller and gripping it as hard as I could, thinking to myself, I've got to win this game. I've got to return to winning ways. We got to such a great start as well. Another really good chance there. Once again, it was Verdi causing the problems. Really good stop by the goalkeeper though, and it was still 1-0. Celtic were dominating possession in this game, as we've grown accustomed to during the series, but we were still looking better and still playing a better football. And as Capello found Verdi here 5 minutes after the restart, he scored his 1st and 2nd goals of the season as he was played through by the left back and rifled it past the goalkeeper to make it Milan 2, Celtic 0. So great interception by Capello, wins it back, threads a great through ball into Verdi, who runs around the back of the defender, and what a finish by our captain for the 2nd half after Polly was replaced at half time. So Milan 2, Celtic 0. Really good finish by both goals, if you will, for Verdi. Both goals really good finishes, and it was Milan 2, Celtic 0. Djokovic made another great save here 20 minutes after the restart. Another fine stop by the Canadian. Desperate to get back in my good books and get back into good form. Really good save, and the final chance fell in stoppage time as well to us here. Capello thought he'd try his luck from range, but the goalkeeper made the save though, and Celtic scrambled the ball away. But also how the game would finish. Final score, Milan 2, Celtic 0. So Djokovic back to the clean sheet form, if you will. Back to getting clean sheets. Milan back to winning ways, of course, the most important thing. And Verdi notching up a couple as as well. His first 2 goals of the season. Maybe he deserves a start on a more regular basis, but of course the most important thing, getting the win, making sure we don't have 4 games in a row where we fail to get the 3 points. And even though it does come in the Champions League, I'm still relieved to know we did indeed get ourselves a win. But that is going to be today's episode of Career Mode, guys. So thank you very much for watching the video. Really hope you have enjoyed it. If you're enjoying today's episode of Career Mode and a double upload today, then please do consider leaving likes. That's of course much appreciated. I really helps my channel out. Of course, you don't have to leave a like if you don't want to. And I'll see you for the next episode of Career Mode very soon. Because my mouth is filled with saliva right now. This is awful.